Hi, everybody. My name is Stuart Myles. I'm Director of Information Management at the Associated Press, and I'm also the Chairman of the Board of the IPTC. So welcome to the News at a Crossroads Symposium. We at the IPTC are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, so we thought it would be great to mark that by talking about the news and the future of news. And so we thought this theme of News at a Crossroads would be a good one to help us think about the different choices that we in the news industry are facing. I thought I would give a very short introduction to IPTC, and in particular to IPTC standards. So what the IPTC does predominantly is we're the people who work across lots of different companies around the world, large and small, to set standards. Set technical standards for news exchange of all kinds. So in a lot of ways, this is not particularly glamorous work, but we think it's very important and really foundational to the way that news as a business, as an industry, works all around the world. So I'm going to very quickly introduce you to a few of the things that we do and have done over the years. One of them is photo metadata. So if anybody has ever taken a picture with a digital camera, then you've used IPTC photo metadata. It's actually our, effectively, it's our widest used standard of any of the ones that we've worked on. We're very proud of it. We worked with a number of camera manufacturers and other major players to get our photo metadata standards implemented in, as I said, in all digital cameras. And actually, we just updated it last year for the first time in several years, so that we added some new features to do with rights, which is another hot topic for IPTC and our membership. Another one is NewsML G2. So this is an XML standard, which is a format for all kinds of news media, text, photo, video, and so on. And if you've ever read recently read an article through the BBC or Reuters.com, a number of other websites, you've probably read news that was represented in NewsML G2 behind the scenes in its content management systems and the publication systems and so on. Another one is what we call RNews. So RNews was a really interesting project for us because we ended up working with the major search engines, so Google, Yahoo, Bing, and Yandex, to create a way to represent structured metadata in web pages. So what that really means is to make it easier for search engines to understand the intended structure and the way that what's the headline, which is the photo that actually goes with the story rather than an ad or something else, to make it easier for them to help people find the news. One more interesting area for us I'm going to touch on, is rights. So rights is a topic that is important to a lot of news industry players throughout the ecosystem, because we more and more are unfortunately in situations where there's fewer and fewer editors who actually touch content before it gets published straight to the web, for example. So rights is important because people want to make sure they're actually allowed to use the content that they're publishing. And right now, most of the time, that means you've got to read the caption and the photo or the restrictions that are written into the video script and so on. And that doesn't work if you've got nobody to look at it before it goes out to the web. So RightsML is our effort to working with people who are working within the W3C, actually, to create a standard way to interchange permissions and restrictions. And lots more. We do stuff with news metadata, taxonomy, sports data is a huge one for us as well as we're coming up to the Olympics. Video metadata is a hot new area as well, tons of different formats. If this is the kind of thing that you're interested in terms of technologies, then definitely we'd love to hear more from you guys. And also, though, if those are some of the business problems that you're interested in solving, then that's really what drives most of the work that IPTC does. So some of you here are the people who manage the travel budget for the people who actually attend the different IPTC meetings around the world. So I thought it would be just interesting for you to hear some of what it is, why people get together and talk for 3 days or something in darkened hotel conference rooms discussing these standards. It's actually to drive the solutions for the business problems. Many companies are involved in IPTC. These are a lot of the larger companies, but one of the things that I'm very proud of at IPTC is that it's not just for the big companies. Part of the point of a real standards body is to have it so that any agency or even individuals who are qualified to work on these things, they get to drive the standards and really create the solutions that we use across the industry. And that was my very brief introduction to IPTC. Thanks very much for attending. We're going to have a series of panel discussions, and I'm hoping that people will ask lots of questions to help make the discussions very interesting. It's across a number of different topics. And let's get started. Thanks very much.